a normal person like you and me earning 95 million euros a year sounds insane, absurd, over the top, absolutely crazy, but for a football giant, that is a pocket change. Imagine barely making enough to survive, and from one year to the next, suddenly generating as much money as Apple, Tesla, or Amazon. Something does not add up, and a jump that big shouldn't not be possible until it happened. We are in Paris, the city of love, fashion shows, supermodels, glamour, superstars, and behind all the glitz and glamour, the city's football team, a Paris Saint-Germain that, back then, was just another club in the pack. And yes, you are already seeing where this is going. This video is exactly about how one company transformed Paris Saint-Germain into a money-making machine nobody saw coming. Because the crazy part is not that they bought the club. The crazy part is what happened after, something that changed European football forever. And the key was not the money. It was something much stranger. Hola, ¿qué tal? I am Alberto, and before anything else, excuse my poor English, maybe active subtitles, because in the next few seconds you are going to understand how an ordinary club started making more than 650 million euros a year and became one of the richest and most high-profile teams on the planet. You have entered Football Finance Files. Everything begins in 2011. Qatar Sports Investment arrives in France, buys Paris Saint-Germain, and the club starts transforming at unbelievable speed. This was not a normal growth, it was a jump of impossible proportions. And who are these people? Qatar Sports Investment is an investment fund created by the state of Qatar to expand its global image through sports. It's not just a group of businessmen, it's a strategic project from an entire country with practically unlimited resources and one clear obsession, turning Paris Saint-Germain into Qatar's global showcase. Within months, Paris Saint-Germain was spending like it had infinite money, but without breaking any rules, totally legal, and that absolutely shocked their closest rivals across half of Europe. How can a club go from barely making ends meet to singing whoever they want, whenever they want, without UEFA being able to stop them? The key was not the singings, it was something much bigger and at the same time much simpler than it seems. While everyone was focused on transfers, the real move was happening in the revenue. Paris Saint-Germain started securing commercial deals that looked like science fictions, Qatari sponsors paying amounts no other club could match. And that's when the dubs began, because if your income skyrockets, you can spend more without breaking UEFA's financial fair play. And Paris Saint-Germain knew that. Were those numbers too high to be normal? Did it really make sense for them to be that big? How could a club generate so much money so quickly? Was it illegal? Was it morally ethical? At that moment, nobody really knew. But the wildest part came later, when that uncontrolled growth started shaking the wall of European football. Because here is the thing. Paris Saint-Germain financial explosion did not stay in Paris. It disrupted the entire market. Transfer prices skyrocketed, salaries went through the roof, and many clubs complained that the market had been completely distorted. UEFA opened investigations, and even then, every time it looked like Paris Saint-Germain was in trouble, the club met the requirements and kept going. It felt like they understood the system better than anyone else. And that is when you realize this was not just a team spending money, it was a completely new business model, unlike anything European football had seen before. Paris Saint-Germain did not just grow, it redrew the map of modern football. It turned its brand into a global platform, boosted commercial income, and opened the door to a new era. The era of state-owned clubs. Today, more than a decade later, Paris Saint-Germain generates over 650 million euros a year, and it remains the clearest example of how economics can reshape the entire sport. And voila! A super interesting video has just appeared, because if this financial jump blew your mind, Wait until you see what he's doing. A club without petrodollars, but making millions as if they had them. Click on this video right here. It's going to blow your mind. Click now! Now! Click!